What's going on? So here we are with a new episode. We're going to try something different. Never done this before. We're going to do some party ribs. I've seen them done on the internet. We're going to give them a try. Here we go. So here we are. We're going to try making some party ribs for the first time. We got our pork back ribs from Costco. We're going to clean them up. Make sure we get all the juices from the packaging. We're going to take off the membrane. Make sure they're nice and clean. So here we're going to slice in between the bones. Try to put meat on both sides of them so you get even bites on each side. I was having some issues just cutting the angles. I'd never tried this before, so just trying to make sure that it was nice and clean and had a lot of meat on both sides of the bone. We left the last part of the rib there with the cartilage and stuff as normal ribs. My little guy likes the normal ribs, as he calls them, so we left that for him. And the party ribs are for the rest of us to try out. A couple pieces, like I said, struggled with that. So here we left a couple pieces of the ends of the baby backs so I can make those for my little guy. And here we got the cut up ribs, mustard as a binder. Don't make this mistake. With the mustard water, make sure you shake your mustard first before you put it in. And then you'll actually get mustard and not mustard water. Just makes it a little easier for the binder. And today we're going to use Pitmaster's Choice Rib, Shoulder, and Swine Rub. It's a nice savory rub. But first, let's mix in that mustard binder so we can have it actually bind to the ribs. Once again, makes it a little easier. And then we'll add the rub seasoning afterwards. So we just make sure that this is all mixed up. And now we can add our seasoning. Once again, that's the Pitmaster's Choice. It's a nice savory seasoning. And I was just trying to guesstimate how much to use here because never done party ribs. Maybe I should have just mixed this up on a cutting board. And here we're going to add our Sweet Preacher Fire and Smoke. I like that savory and sweet mix. It's one of my favorite things, especially for pork. So we're going to try it on the party ribs and see how that goes. Usually it's a pretty good mix. So here we go. We're going to mix it up a little bit more. I definitely think next time I'm going to do this on a cutting board. I severely over-seasoned them because it was hard to tell really how much seasoning is. Like I said, the bowl kind of messed me up. The ribs were still pretty good, you'll see, but yeah, it was way, way over-seasoned. More than I needed to do. And here we are with the end pieces for the little guy. We're going to do the exact same process as we did for the first batch with the party ribs. The mustard binder. We're going to use the Pitmaster's Choice seasoning and also the Sweet Preacher. What I didn't show is the setup of the Weber 600 XL. I put it onto Super Smoke for 180, and we're going to do that for an hour. We're going to give it a check, and then after that, we're going to crank it up to 225 and let that roll for hour and a half, and obviously checking to see what goes on with that. And here we are checking this out. The ribs, approximately 2.5 hours in, I flipped them, and they're looking pretty good. A little water bath underneath just to give a little bit of moisture. I didn't spritz. Like I said, first time trying it, we're going to try something different. And here we are 3 hours later. The ribs are probing just under 200 Fahrenheit. So now we're just going to add a little bit more flavor to this. Everything I'm adding here is what I've seen other people do. So we're going to try this out. First things first, a little bit of brown sugar. We're going with a little bit of a sweeter profile. I cannot add heat because my wife won't let me because she does not like heat. We're going to add a little bit of butter as well because butter makes everything better. Or I thought bacon made everything better, but we're going to go with butter this time. And also we're going to add some Stubbs Sticky Sweet. It's a new barbecue sauce for me. I've never tried this. First time trying this out. And it tasted pretty good. I wasn't sure how much to put on. I'm not a big sauce guy. So I don't know if I was adding too much or not enough. But this is what I added on. You guys can tell me if I added too much or not enough. Then the next thing I did was a little bit of apple cider vinegar just to cut down a little bit of that sweetness, and bring a little bit of tartness. After that, this went back onto the smoker at 275 for approximately 45 minutes. And here we are an hour later with the finished product. These things were actually pretty good. Party ribs are actually very good. A little bit too sweet for my liking. If I could add a little heat, I would. My ribs, I added a little bit of hot sauce just because I like that kick. And there you can see it with a little bit of hot sauce. Plate it up. These ribs were good. I would do it again. A little bit less sweetness. It's a good bite. Good smoke ring. It was a good rib. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. Not a problem.